A lot of kids don't get a chance to talk to actual NBA players. We just trying to change the roles and do something different. Give them more than what we had.
How does it feel to be black?
The ball is secondary.
Walk away from this place with something.
Apply some of the stuff in their life, help the next person.
You all have made it now to the birth of the movement. Go on the back of the bus.
I need that seat now.
She make me mad.
That's how I feel to be black.
You've heard us talk about DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports, and how paydays can come every day by entering their contest with huge cash prizes up for grabs.
Well, this week is jam-packed with action, ranging from basketball to golf. And DraftKings has plenty of ways for you to have a front row seat to all the action.
Making a DraftKings lineup is super easy and adds excitement to every night. Draft a lineup of players, stay under the salary cap, sit back, and watch your points stack up.
DraftKings is a leader in daily fantasy sports, having paid out over $7 billion to its users. So every moment means more with DraftKings lineup on the line.
Now that you know how to play, download the DraftKings app and sign up using the promo code SMOKE. New users will get a free entry with their first deposit.
That's code SMOKE to get a free entry with your first deposit. Only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for more details.
Welcome back, man. Season 2 of All the Smoke.
We got a real special guest.
What's up with your Brody with the virtual handshake?
I'm gonna tell y'all something that I never told nobody.
I want all the smoke.
Welcome back to a special edition of All the Smoke All-Star. With the All-Star game right around the corner, we want to take a second to kind of reflect on our experience last year, Jack's experience in the rookie game, this coming All-Star selections, and memorable moments through All-Star games in the past. Jack, let's start with your rookie game experience. It's no secret your journey was a wild one to get to where you're at, and you finally land on your feet, and you make the rookie team your first year. What was that experience like, and tell us a little bit about the journey and what you learned?
It was a bittersweet experience for me, Matt, because, the journey I've been through with getting cut by at least 16 NBA teams before I got into the NBA, breaking both of my feet before I get to the NBA, all these things, and to finally make it where I start my first rookie game, I make it to the rookie All-Star game, and the experience was unbelievable because it was the All-Star game, and it may be one of the top 5 All-Star games because I got a chance to see Steph and AI really take over All-Star game and bring their team back in D.C. and to beat the Western Conference. That was one of the best All-Star games that I've ever seen. So to be able to play in that game with guys like Baron Davis, Steve Francis, Darius Miles, Quentin Richardson, and then again, Matt, my team was the only team in the NBA that was starting 2 rookies at the time. And I was leading all rookies in scoring going into the All-Star weekend. So it was a great experience. I never thought I'd be there. But coming back after All-Star, I didn't start no more, didn't play again the rest of the season. So I don't know if making the All-Star team was a bad thing for me, because it made my value go up. But it was a great experience, and I'm glad to say I experienced it one time.
No, that's dope. I mean, those rookie-sophomore games are always so exciting because you get to see obviously the stars of tomorrow. We had an opportunity to do our first All-Star game as the All the Smoke fucking dynamic duo we've become. And I think the one thing that tripped me out was all the love we got. We were down there with Bron and Kawhi and all these dudes, and all I kept hearing was people yell all the smoke. And that shit kind of tripped me out because it was dope to see that we're resonating post-career. We were trying to move head down, keep it moving, saying what's up to people, but to me, it was crazy, all the fans that were screaming for us. I thought that was pretty dope.
You hit it on the nose, bro. Like, when we walked in, we were just trying to really just get in where we fit in, make our presence felt. But I didn't expect the reception we got, bro. Like you said, as soon as we walked in, all the smoke, they calling our names. My name was called more at the All-Star weekend for the show than ever for basketball. So it was an amazing experience,
That's
dog.
basically what I was saying.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience, and to see so many of our fans, of course, they're basketball fans, but to see them appreciate the show that we brought to them, man, it meant a lot to us.
Absolutely. And then it's also where we started something that hopefully once this pandemic finishes up or subsides or we get back to some sort of normalcy, starting live shows. We had the opportunity to interview Kevin Garnett All-Star Weekend, and that was my first time getting a chance to really be around him and his energy off the court. And the shit was electric, bro. From the time we were in the green room talking shit, him telling stories, to the time we got on stage and he went to 2 or 3 towels sweating out like the great John Thompson, rest in peace. It was just a great experience, to hear, his MJ stories, to hear how he wanted to play with Kobe and Kobe didn't call him back. And I really think it opened the door to show that, we don't have to do these isolated interviews from home or even in the studio. Hopefully, like I said, when the world comes back to some sort of normalcy, we can get out and put all the smoke on the road and give the fans what they really want.
Well, I think that was the same experience for both of us. I played against KG a lot, and I knew what he was as a player, but that was my first time too, Matt, being around him and feeling that energy off the court. To him forcing me to take a shot that I didn't want to take.
Right from the jump, the big-ass shot, too. That shot was like
right from the jump, bro. You know what I mean? But he's somebody that we looked up to. He's somebody that I admired, you know what I mean? And to be able to hear, he's probably the best storyteller I've ever heard a story from.
Loved it.
I love KG, man. I can't wait for us to do more things in the future with him and hopefully interview him again.
Yeah, definitely shout out KG. He's got a new show coming. I don't know if it has a title yet, but he's redesigning Man Cave. So he came over to the boys' game room and met the twins, and he's gonna redesign their game room. So they've been gassed ever since. So I'm excited. Definitely shout out to the homie KG. Great interview, great opportunity, and hopefully it'll open doors back to some live shows once we can. Well, Jack, let's take a look at the starters for both sides. Let's start with Steph Curry from Golden State Warriors making his 7th All-Star selection. Luka Doncic, a controversial selection. Although he's great, a lot of people, including Luka, felt Dame should be the starting 2 guard. But nevertheless, Luka gets his 2nd All-Star nod. King James, number 17 for him. Salute. Not enough things could be said about his greatness. This motherfucker's been in his prime since he started, and no one ever has been in the prime that long. Next up, Jokic makes his 3rd All-Star selection from Denver, one of the best bigs in the game, if not the best big in the game. And to round out the starting 5, Kawhi Leonard making his 5th All-Star selection. Jack, before we jump to the Eastern Conference, anything about the Western Conference that stands out? You want to touch on that Dame situation or anything else?
I mean, this is the usual. You know what I'm saying? I tell you, the league do Dame like they did AI. They didn't want him to be that guy and that face because he don't fit their narrative. But Dame deserves to be in the starting lineup. Everybody that loves basketball, everybody that watches basketball, everybody that counts stats, everybody that cheers for their team, everybody that even seen a basketball bounce. No, Dame Lillard deserves to be a starter on that team, and it's just that simple. But you can't go against anybody in that starting 5. All those guys belong in the All-Star game. All those guys can be a starter on the Western Conference All-Star team any year. So you can't really knock those guys, but you always got to throw your hat in there for Dame because if anybody deserves it, he does.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely here to support Dame, but that definitely doesn't lessen Luka's greatness and what he's been able to accomplish, and his spot on this team is definitely deserving as well. But like I said, I think Dame should have got that nod. But hey, that's how the shit goes. But he should definitely be voted in as a reserve. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference, starting with Giannis, 5th All-Star selection in Milwaukee. Bradley Beal leading the league in scoring. The team is starting to show a little bit of life, but happy for him. He's really starting to be recognized as a great player. Easy money. Kevin Durant coming back off an Achilles is in the MVP category. This is his 11th All-Star game, which is a tremendous show of love for him because, like I said, he's come back from an Achilles like he never had an Achilles. And if you think about it, back in the day, Achilles was a career ender. So, really happy for our brother Kevin Durant. He was able to, no pun intended, land on his feet and really pick up where he left off. Joel Embiid, his 4th All-Star selection, is someone I'm really excited for. Doc's got this guy playing great. When his only person that can stop him in this game is himself. And I think he's finally out of his head. Doc has him believing in himself. And this man is incredible. Night in, night out, he's been there for his team, and I love to see it. And to round out, your brother, Kyrie Irving, with his 7th All-Star selection. I saw someone ask a question the other day, is Kyrie the most skilled player in the history of the NBA? And I really had to stop and think for a second. They're not saying he's the best, but is he the most skilled player? Is he the most skilled player? And I would argue for that he is. Yeah. One of, if not the most skilled player, definitely one of the top 2, 3, 4, maybe to ever do this. From his ability to dribble the ball, pass the ball, score the ball underneath the rim. He got up and dunked. The way he hits clutch shots. There's not a hole in his offensive game, and his skill set is something that definitely needs to be praised.
Yeah, his godfather Rod Strickland was one of the best finishers ever in the NBA, and he the one, and that came from him. He said that Kyrie is the best finisher the NBA or the most skilled player the NBA has ever seen. And when you talk about skilled players, you got to talk about Kyrie, but we're not going to even get into that. But he is definitely probably the most skilled in the game today.
Yes.
But we talking about the East. We talking about the East All Stars. I got a problem, Matt. I got a problem with that 5.
Tell me where it's at.
I really think that the way that he's came to this new team, the way he's picked up on the role, embraced his role, and still is a dominant player in the game, and still is one of the best scorers in the game. James Harden is a starter regardless what conference he in. I think Giannis should be knocked off his high horse. I really think they've been giving him all these accolades. Yeah, he's a top 10 player, but today Brooklyn should have 3 starters in the All-Star game, and James Harden should be a starter in this game. No question in my mind, he should be a starter regardless what conference he in. James Harden is a starter.
I'm not even mad at that, and I agree with you. You know what's funny was, I think it was Isaiah, one of the twins, said, man, James Harden went to Brooklyn, took the fat suit off, and he's been killing. It was crazy, though, but there's no question, man. You know, we had a chance to talk about him on What's Burning, but, you know, the way he's kind of come into a team with 2 superstars, him being the third one coming late, but him doing the most adjusting and being able to fill every void they need, from the decision maker to the distributor to the big shot maker. And like you even said earlier, stepping it up on defense, because defense is nothing but energy. So right. I definitely think James Harden as a starter should be in the Eastern Conference, but hey, you know, he came over late. They're going to make a bunch of excuses, but he'll definitely be named to the team. Next up, we're going to take a trip down memory lane and talk about some of the most special moments in All-Star Week in history. Some of the stuff we grew up watching as children. Some of the stuff we got to be a part of as adults. Let's start with MJ and Dominique's dunk contest in 1988. It's unfortunate because I think Dominique Wilkins' greatness as a dunker and as a player was overshadowed by MJ in the dunk contest and with MJ's career, but Dominique was a motherfucking monster, obviously player, but his dunk, the veracity he used to dunk with is scary. This dude was doing slam dunk contest dunks in games.
Sum it up, the human highlight film. That was his nickname.
He was a monster. Next up, Larry Bird, 3-point moment where he put his hand up because he knew he had won it, or he knew it was going in before it went in. Legendary 3-point shooter. I would love to see a Larry Bird shootout with I would love to see like a Larry, Steph, Reggie, Clay. Who would you put the 5th shooter in there? I would say Ray Allen, but you're not a fan of him. I like Ray Allen, but you might not want to put Ray Allen in there.
No, I wouldn't. You know who I put in there?
Who would you put in there?
You got Reggie, you got Clay. Who else you got?
Yeah. Steph
Reggie,
and Larry.
Larry. I think I would go Dale Curry.
Ooh, a Dale Curry. Ooh, put Pops in there, huh?
Yeah.
I like that. I think that would be a legendary shooter. Obviously, a great shootout. Larry, one of the best to ever do it. Next up, D. Brown, when he brought imagination, style, antics to the dunk contest. But before he even did that, Jack, remember he pumped up his motherfucking Reeboks and had everyone going crazy.
Yeah,
he pumped his Reeboks up first. And then he went and did the little hand over the face dunk and kind of set to me, that might have started the showmanship of the dunk contest with antics, although it's gone to a whole nother level today. That was very creative because I think that was back in 1991. I think I was just about to turn 11.
And D. Brown was before his time. He was the first person to dab in the air, man. He jumped in the air and dabbed like the Migos. And dunked it. He was the first person to do that. He was before his time.
Dabbed almost 20 years before the dab even became famous. One thing I remember vividly, because this guy was my favorite player, was Magic Johnson's return to the All-Star game in 92. After having to retire early from HIV. I think the game was in Orlando. He came in, got one MVP of the All-Star game. And to me, I remember that moment clear as day. I think I was in 6th grade, but I was just so happy to see Magic back out there playing again. I thought that was great for the game.
Man, it felt good for every kid that grew up watching basketball our age, that looked up to Magic, that knows what he means to the game of basketball. To see him back out there, to see that smile, to see him and Isaiah greet each other how they normally do, it meant everything. It was one of the best moments of All-Star Weekend.
Next up, Kobe's first All-Star game, youngest All-Star in the history, if I'm not mistaken, against MJ on the biggest stage in the world, Madison Square Garden, 1998. Anything you remember about that game?
I just knew that Kobe was going to shadow MJ and just try to go at him. I didn't know what to expect, but I knew Kobe was going to take it real serious. And just to see MJ and his clone on the court looking so similar, it was splitting image of Jordan on the court, man. It was good to see, but me knowing Kobe, I seen the joy on Kobe's face, and it was refreshing to see.
Well, I thought what was dope was we got a behind the scenes. I don't know if it was from MJ's doc this past year that happened, but they knew Kobe was coming. They knew Kobe wasn't going to play like this as a traditional All-Star game. They said they knew the young boy was coming. He was going to take it hard, play hard the whole time, and that's exactly what he did. And that's why I love Kobe, because I even tell you another story. I remember he treated every basketball situation like it was a real game, whether it was an All-Star game or not. But I remember he invited me up to his camp in Santa Barbara. He used to hold the camp when Mike stopped doing his camp. Kobe was doing his camp up in Santa Barbara. And I remember I was just coming off a knee surgery that season. I came back at the end of the playoffs. We got swept by Dallas, but my knee was still a little fucked up. So I'm thinking I'm just going up there to talk and hang out. We're out there playing, I think, 2-on-2 with like some teenage kids. And bro, when I tell you, Kobe was playing harder than shit. Blocking shots, dunking, made one kid fall. And I'm like, damn, Kobe, these are fucking kids. He's like, so? I'm like, shit. So it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that, you know what I'm saying, he took that 98 All-Star game, his first game, like it was game 7 of the finals. That's what, you know, obviously we know and love about Kobe. Rest in peace to our brother, but he didn't give a shit who was in front of him. If a basketball was throwing up, it was going down. Next up, Vince Carter in the 2000 slam dunk contest. To me, changed dunking forever. You know, with all due respect to everyone that came in the past, you think about the dunks back in the day when MJ and them were doing it. Those are such basic dunks now, but still hard, but basic dunks. And Vince did something which most people can't, which is think outside the box and be super creative. And some of the dunks he came with in that 2000 All-Star game were incredible. With a loaded field, you got to think they had a young T-Mac. They had Jason Richardson, Steve Francis, a lot of boys that were out there jumping, but Vince was obviously the most memorable dunk contest possibly in the history of All-Star games.
I couldn't do the dunks that Jordan and them was doing back in the day, let alone do the shit Vince was doing. Vince really set the standard for what a dunk contest is supposed to be like. The dunks he was doing, the way he did them, the way he took over the crowd, how high he jumped. He just, everything that you needed to win a dunk contest and to be probably the best contestant ever, Vince did it. You know what I'm saying? He had the class, he had the charisma, he had the showmanship, he had everything, bro. He set the standard for what a dunk contest should be.
Last but not least, MJ's memorable last All-Star game fadeaway, which should have won them the game. There was a bullshit call by the refs, surprise, surprise, and they end up losing. But thoughts on MJ's last game? I want to say you guys won a championship that year in San Antonio, so what are your memories of that 2003 MJ All-Star run? Oh, there it is, the big ring, the big boy. Oh, you were ready for this. You must have read the notes beforehand.
Yeah, bro, 2003 was special for me, man. Winning the championship was a great year. Seeing MJ, you know, play against our era and still be dominant and make those plays in the All-Star game. I think that year was one of my best years of being in the NBA. A lot of things. I got a chance to see MJ play. You know, we played against him. And like I said, winning the championship, seeing him in the All-Star game. David Robinson's last year, you know, getting him a championship on his way out. So a lot of things about that year was special, man. But definitely seeing MJ do his thing in the All-Star game before he went out was special.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that look back on All-Star Weekend from the past to the present. And take a look now at some of the better moments of all the smoke and All-Star memories from our guests.
Yeah, GP was kind of my example of what I wanted to, but I give Gary, shout to GP, man.
Shout out GP.
We was in everybody's talking about the 20th anniversary of Vince winning the dunk contest in Oakland, right? What y'all don't know is that Kobe Bryant, rest in peace to my dog. He took another level of being a defensive standpoint because Gary Payton at the practice, All-Star practice, pulled us to the side because Kobe asked him something. He pulled both of us to the side. He said, let me tell y'all something. Look, when you're playing defense, and then he went through a 30-minute joint with both of us with defense. And keeping us between the legs and reaching and how to reach and when you reach up and just little tricks of the trade that next time I saw Kobe after the break, he was using it. Became first team that year. First time I seen him, I said, you used that shit GP show. He said, you saw it? I got his ass, you saw it? Hell yeah, I saw it, bitch ass nigga. I saw that shit. I said, I caught that shit. You didn't think I saw it. But I knew that only the three of us was part of that, so I was like, you got the rip? Yeah, you saw that shit? I thought he was gonna call a foul. He didn't call that shit. I said, wow, because GP taught us when you rip somebody to go through their chest versus using your hand. You see this, right? He told us to take a step and come through your chest and come and then round out. There's no way you can protect the ball. You can't cross it back. Once I'm in your cab, you can't cross it up. You would either have to turn your back. Oh man, I saw Kobe take that first night. After the break, I saw it. We wasn't no texting and none of that back then, but when I first saw him, I shot it. It stayed right here when I saw him. He knew exactly what I was talking about.
Students of the game.
Shout out to GP for that, yo.
No doubt. Seeing that we're here at All-Star, what is your favorite All-Star moment?
Favorite All-Star moment? Vince. Sitting on the floor, believe it or not, I got that footage too, y'all. Nope.
They just showed it last night. Oh, you had it on the camcorder, that's right.
Yeah, nope.
Can't see it?
Come see me. Motherfuckers think y'all getting this shit for free, y'all kiss my ass. Right, Garnett Inc., holla. Right, but I got that. That was probably one of my favorite because all my friends is probably two couple rows and we got to see that and it was the first time the world got to really see Vince. Like we knew Vince in high school, grew up, yada yada. And for him to like put that on display like that and just give us an unbelievable. A lot of people don't know Tracy and Steve too. Stacy and Steve was in that too. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the better before Zach and Gordon. That was probably my favorite. That was probably my favorite dunk contest of time. But out of all the stuff, man, I've always been able to pull something out of each All-Star game. One of my favorites was coming out. I was getting ready to. I was leaving the All-Star game and I had a bag of stuff and I was coming out and Craig Sager needed an interview for his closeout.
I remember that.
I didn't want to do it and I was trying to, we in here bag look like, how you play shadow and you trying to get by somebody. I'm like, Craig, what you doing? I gotta catch my plane, get the fuck out of here, yada, yada. So my assistant, shout to Bill, I call him Shitty. I threw Shitty the bag and said, yo, Shitty, take this to the plane. And I'm trying to get out. He's like, yo, just give me 2 seconds, I need it out. I said, get the fuck out of my way. And I kind of pushed him, I kind of gave him some whatever. And he was like, man, and I saw how he looked. I said, come on, man, fuck it, come on. And I was like, I'm just gonna say whatever I want to say. He said, okay, just give me this. I just need 30 seconds to get out of here. Okay, and go. And then I saw what he had on. I looked and I said, oh, hold on, fuck that, hold on. So look, I never try to go at you, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, really, what the fuck is this, dog? Like, really, you came to the game like this, dog? And he was trying to get an interview, and I was like, nah, fuck all that, no, burn all this shit.
Yeah.
Everything, the green thong to all this, all of it, and kind of gave him a little sound bite and said what up to everybody, and then got out of there, and I turned around and I was like, gave him a shout, he said thanks.
The great
something like
Craig.
that.
Rest in peace, Craig.
Shout to Craig, yo.
2000, to me, arguably, you changed the dunk contest forever. Now, we can talk about Mike's dunk from the free throw line and all the dunks in the history, but you came in and did some shit we had never seen. I remember I'm in fucking study hall at UCLA, and the dunk contest is coming on, so somehow I got the fucking lady to bring a TV in study hall, and we watched you in Oracle Arena change the dunk contest forever. How did you, you did dunks we never seen. Did you prep? Right. How did you know what you were going to do? Talk to us about that.
So leading up to it, first of all, it took the act of Congress to get T-Mac to do it because he didn't want to do it. People don't know that. Like, he put on a hell of a show himself and he did not want to do it.
Who else was in that dunk contest? That was a good dunk contest.
Okay.
Who was in
Ricky Davis, Steve Francis,
Ricky could fly.
Stackhouse.
Oh.
I'm forgetting. That's all the ones I could think of right now. It was crazy.
On his level.
Oh, and T-Mac.
And T-Mac and him.
So,
that was 6.
Yeah. So it was crazy, but I was just like, bro, we could go out here and put Toronto on the map, and we could show what we could do. Cause we were fooling around with different stuff. I remember in San Antonio at a practice one day, we were just going crazy, throwing the ball all over the gym off one bounce and just doing crazy stuff, just prepping, trying to figure stuff out. So we had an awful trip there. Our car didn't pick us up on time, so we missed our practice leading up to the contest. So we never got to practice. Our practice was the layup line or whatever, the warm-up line right before this contest started. So we never got to practice. And my routine that I was going to do, I saw all these people, man, and sitting around, you see all the stars and everything. And I was like,
all of them were out.
Bro, I was like, this routine is not good enough. So I scrapped all of that in the layup line. I was so hyped, it took me everything not to do my dunk routine in the layup line. Like, I was just so hyped, bro. Like, I've been looking for it.
Want to get out there and just fly.
Just fly. That's it. Yeah, I'm ready to show everybody what I could do. Like, and I've taken, for all my high school and middle school, I didn't care about watching Sunday or the All-Star game. I just wanted the tape and watch the dunk contest on Saturday. And I'm like, bro, I'm finally here. I ain't about to blow this, but I'm about to go ham. So when I got out there, I saw all these people, man, and my energy and my adrenaline was on 10,000, bro. So I scrapped it. And so I was just trying to figure out what to do. So that first dunk, the reverse 360, I had tried before.
My God.
So I tried that dunk and barely made it when I was practicing. So I had scrapped that already. But when I got out there, I saw all these people and I saw Twan there. And I was like, bro, watch this. He's like, what you about to do? I was like,
you walked into that motherfucker perfect too.
Man,
one dribble just walked into that motherfucker. Wow.
Hey, but I was so hyped. So that's why. So if you notice, remember when I dunked the ball, boom, and it go through. And then I was so hyped, my second bounce, I probably could have did a windmill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I was just so hyped because I'd never accomplished that dunk like that before. But that was all adrenaline. That was all adrenaline.
That motherfucker off, bro.
Yeah. So I was just like, so in between every dunk, I was just over just trying to figure out what next. So I did the one-step 180 windmill. What I wanted to show everybody, like, obviously you didn't see many people jumping the other way.
Hell no, I've never seen it.
Right, so I had taught myself how to jump to do the reverse 360 and just practice it until I got it. To this day, like, if you asked me to do a dunk, I would do a reverse 360 before I do the regular way. Because
that's your go-to.
I can't go the other way anymore. Like, I can't. This makes no sense to me. It's so crazy.
Yeah. You get lost in your old age going the other way.
I get lost, absolutely. Like, I can't do it. Like, I'll barely make it. So that's why I wanted to show, just obviously going against the grain, obviously a full extended windmill, blah, 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 whatever. And I didn't know if I was going to get that high, but whatever. So with the 180 dunk, I wanted to show that I could take one step out of the baseline, soar to the front of the rim while doing the extended windmill, and boom, throw it through. So I didn't get a 10 from Kenny Smith, which kind of bothered me.
Hater.
So, yeah, but he was like, "Oh, you set the bar too high." Well, walking on the court,
give him
that's
a 10
the last
then.
thing. That's the last thing I said to myself before my first dunk. I said, "Show up or show out."
Got to.
And that used to be our terminology in the band before. Obviously in the South, the band is huge, so we gonna show up and show out. So I was like, this is my chance to show the world my imagination and what I be thinking about in my head when it comes to dunking.
Now, to talk about that dunk contest and then to think it was 20 years ago, how does that make you feel? That shit was 20 years ago, bro. 20 years ago.
Exactly. And it's and I still get chills. And I'm still like, man, what was I thinking when I did all
I wasn't
this
in the
stuff?
league yet.
Nah, that's crazy. Some of his teammates weren't even born yet, bro. Some of his teammates weren't even born yet. Think about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that shit is insane.
So it's just funny to kind of hear and see it, and to think of all what transpired, and think once Kenny gave me that 9, I was like, okay, all right, I got to step this up a little bit, huh? Okay, I got to get a 10. I didn't want the competition to be close. But that's why I wanted T-Mac in there, because I knew he would push me to do it, because he had, like, his dunks were crazy.
Stupid bounce.
And that's what pushed me to the next level. Then seeing what Steve Francis did, like, we forget about what Steve Francis was doing out there.
He killing.
Hey, do y'all remember anything that Ricky Davis did?
Didn't he go between the legs?
And he did the backwards jump. Crazy backwards, but nobody remembers that. But that's what I'm saying. Seeing that, I was like, okay, I got to step it up. So the arm in the rim came like this. I played in Gary Payton game, and I was in the layup line. I was jumping over the rim, and I did it in the warm-ups too, but I was jumping over the rim, and I was just dropping the ball in. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to do that, but I got to add something to it. So I'm going to just try to hang. I ain't never done that before. But I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to
bicep and all.
Right. I didn't know how to do it.
Let me dunk my fucking arm real quick.
Right. So the last thing I remember leaving, my coach, Butch Carter said, "Hey son, don't go out there and break your damn arm and your leg." That's what he said to me. So when I'm standing above the rim before I'm about to dunk, I'm like, bro, please don't fall off this rim. I was buying time. Like I didn't know what to do, how to do it. So when I walked it off, bro, I wanted to show. So what I wanted to show you is that how high I could jump. I wanted to show you I could get my arm above the rim. And then, the rest is history. I wanted to kind of hang up there, and I didn't even want you to say, ooh, ah. I want you to be like,
what the fuck?
What?
I still say what the fuck.
Yeah, and I want you to realize what happened when you looked at that Jumbotron.
It was sick.
You know what I'm saying?
It stunned everyone because they had never seen it. It didn't get the initial, because people were like, well, what did he just do?
And that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
That shit reminded me of, what was the movie? What's the movie with the Tropic Thunder? What's the movie called? Semi-Pro. When they first threw the alley-oop, and motherfuckers didn't know how to react.
Absolutely.
Like that was like,
absolutely.
What did he just do? That's what that shit was like.
Yeah, he's like, that's what he's like. That's a foul.
Right.
That's 2 points. That's 2 points.
Yeah. There was that kind of awe though.
Absolutely.
Like people were like, did he just stick his fucking dunk his arm and hang up there?
Yeah, that's what I want. So if you notice, when I walk away, I have my eyes closed, just making sure it was quiet in the arena, and I just started laughing.
Yeah, because after they see the highlight, they're gonna be like, oh. Damn,
so that was the two.
Was sick.
That dunk and the between the legs dunks are the two I made up that night.
The finishing dunk. The last dunk was the one though.
When it was over.
Well, so that's the crazy thing about it. Every time I look at that dunk, like I look at the first four dunks. Between the legs. So I said it was over because, like, I'm trying dunks for the first time, making it up tonight, and I'm making these on the first try. It's over, bro. It's over. Like that's
right.
it. That's what that came from.
There ain't no limit to my jumping ability.
Now I'm trying to push the envelope a little bit. I saw in between the legs in East Bay magazine a picture for the jump soles. Remember the jump soles?
Yep.
You know why I was in the East Bay magazine? Because it comes from the East Bay gangster.
Yeah, right. So I saw that picture. Right, I saw that picture. So I was like, I'm gonna try that. But they said you got to use a teammate. So I was like, all right, T-Mac just got to bounce the ball.
Off the bounce.
Yeah. And we never practiced it. So he's like, cuz, what you about to do? I said, just bounce the ball, get the hell out the way. So he bounced it. He's like, what? He bounced it the first time. He bounced it too high. Because I didn't know where to bounce it, how high I needed. I said, just bounce it waist height. That seemed logical to me. Waist height, so I can just catch it and then put it between my legs. I said, bounce the ball and walk out the way. And if you look at it, you see him bounce the ball and he looked back like, what is he doing? And that's how I came up with it. Never tried it in my life. So I didn't know if I was going to make it or not. And that's where the point came when I did that. Because I'm like, man. That's what it was. I was like, bro, the gods is on my side. The dunk gods is with me, bro. It's over.
That shit was
sick. So did Usain Bolt steal that from you?
I'm just saying.
He did it. He did it a lot of years before.
That's all I'm saying. I did it in 2000.
Fuck that. Hey, all right.
You be the
judge. That's his shit now. I don't know. I think Vince did it first.
Yeah, that's cool.
Vince definitely did it first.
hey, he can have it because it's over. I take the credit for this over.
Yeah.
So 2003, you're the leading vote getter in the league. MJ's last year, you decided to give MJ your starting spot. Talk to us about that.
Basically, yeah, I decided, but it was encouraged by the league that it was a good idea. By the powers that be. It was probably a good idea that MJ starts in his last All-Star game. I ain't no fool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't no fool. First of all, like, we all look up to MJ, and he's a hero, and like, bruh, that's a memory that nobody else can talk about. That can't be duplicated. Bruh, I got a story. Like, I could tell this story forever. Like, you'd be like, oh man, nobody else can say that. Like, and MJ wouldn't take the spot, bruh. Like, when they said, oh, it's probably a good idea, I was like, bruh, I would give him. This is MJ last year, bruh, and you not starting. Bro, I got a chance to kind of do this again. This is your time, MJ. So I pull him aside, bro. It was all day in the morning practice, shoot around or whatever you want to call it. I was like, MJ, bro, take it. Nah. You earned this, whatever. All right, cool. I ain't about to argue with you. So we get down there right before we running out. I said, MJ, bro, you take the spot. You gonna start, bro. I said, if you don't take the spot, I'm gonna stay in the back and I ain't gonna come out.
Right.
But, I mean, it's not. I said, bro, I'm not getting blackballed from the league because you talking about this. You earned it. Yeah, okay, cool. I earned it. We know that, but you starting.
You so
right before they called him for the starting lineup, he still wouldn't go. You see, at the last minute is when he took his. If you see it, the last minute he take his shirt off and he go out there, but he would not go. I was like, bro, please just go because I'm gonna walk to the back and
right.
it ain't happening.
Fuck
So
it.
he takes it and it was like I was like, man, thank God, bro, because
that's dope though because you got
you
to think.
Still getting that starter's check, so.
Yeah. It's all good, but like, bro, I can sit there and say I gave MJ his last start. And then what happened? That fadeaway, bro. He hit the fadeaway like
right.
Bam.
Perfect. That's a hell of a gesture, man.
I think the NBA messed up, bro. I think the NBA messed up. They trying to be all technical and stuff. So MJ, y'all might remember. Yeah, y'all definitely remember. I've been around. MJ hit the fadeaway, and they called a timeout. We're trying to get the game stopped right there.
Yeah.
The game should have been stopped right there.
Over.
Forget the 1.2 seconds or however many seconds left. Forget all that. The game over. The greatest of all times just capped off his most famous shot ever in the All-Star game. It should be over. Now another great player goes and does what he does. Kobe Bean Bryant goes out there and hit the game winner, but it should have been stopped regardless. Point blank. Like that's how you do that. And I think they dropped the ball on that one, in my opinion.
The two greatest back-to-back shots.
Yeah.
Long time. You spoke on your experience being a rookie with grown-ass men kind of thrown in the fire. You got a chance to play with Vince Carter for 1 year there. I remember first seeing him there, and he took the world by storm. When Vince Sanity, half man, half amazing, kind of hit Toronto and put them on the map. How was it your 1 year playing with VC?
It was tough. It was tough, but he did an awesome job. Looking back on it, he was only like 25 years old, and he took me under his wing. He'd take me out to eat on the road. He even came over, with dinner with me and my parents. He met my parents and stuff, and he showed me things. He took me under his wing, and I'm not sure if people knew my capability coming into the league. I had supreme confidence in myself, so I knew I could help the team right away. I knew that he wanted to win, and so did I. So I always wanted to be that rookie that showed up in the game. You know what I mean? Because it was so much pressure, and he was so good. I mean, a lot of people don't know how much talent he possessed.
Oh, God. I try to tell people, man, one of the most physically gifted and skilled people I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
Yeah, he was incredible. So just to be able to see that, and just to see the Vince Sanity factor, to be at All-Star with this dude and just watch him just walking, people reacting to him, and it was amazing. Even a couple parties, just a couple. We didn't have a game the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he did a great job, and just like really just being around him, man, he was awesome.
That's dope. Hey, one thing that I used to love, bro, to me, I was just like, yo, this dude is crazy, but I respected it, was when you used to do, like, your pitch to become an NBA All-Star. I mean, all said and done now, you're an 11-time All-Star, but you really used to do your little pitches and act. And where did that shit come from? Because that shit used to have me rolling.
You know what it was, bro? It was not boredom. I don't want to say boredom. But to be honest, the only reason I had that idea, times weren't like they are now. The voting system for All-Star was just a little different. So if you played, which is still the same now, but if you played in a certain area, you're more likely to get votes, right? And I always, at the time, I thought that Toronto was going to be able, I thought everybody was giving Toronto a tough time, and then I remember looking, I was trying to be an All-Star that year, and I'm looking at the numbers, and I mean, KG and Bron, they're their voting numbers are it's another level of superstardom. You know what I'm saying? And I only did that just to kind of bring the votes up and make it a little closer, because it was embarrassing being way in third. To be honest.
You said way in third.
Way in third, bro. But like, I always mess with the camera. I always did videos and stuff, and you know, just my brother, my friends, we'd always make each other laugh and do not crazy stuff, but you know, funny shit, and you know, really just have a good time, man. And really, I mean, another huge influence on me was like me and my dad and my brother, we would watch in living color every Sunday night. We watched in living color, and we watched the Star Trek: The Next Generation, and then the old school Star Trek with William Shatner. You know what I mean? And Richard Nimoy. And we would sit there, and our favorite, of course, was watching in living color and watching those dudes. I mean, that was kind of like the early influence, yeah. And so I always loved that stuff, you know, and that was pretty much just like my imitation of it.
That's dope. '94, Slam Dunk champ, the East Bay Funk is born. Talk to us about that.
Bro, I've been doing that dunk since like ninth grade. You know what I mean? I was doing that dunk ninth grade, so it was just something from way back for me. Everybody was doing Dominique, Jordans, you know, doing their dunks. So, you know, one day I tried it and got close. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna have that. And then I had it in like a week. So I've been doing, like, people that know me, go old school with me, that went to school with me, know I've been doing that dunk since like 14, 15. You know what I mean? The boys club, dunk contest. Chris Mullin, when he played for the Warriors, judged the dunk contest when I was a youngster at the boys club, and I did that dunk. But with that being said, I just kept it going. Brought it to college. You know, I freaked it in college and won the college dunk contest, and they was like, okay, you know what I mean? And then, you know, when I got to the NBA stage, obviously went to a tremendous level. Man, that's just old school. That's that neighborhood stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you was going between the legs, and you know what I mean? Like you said, in high school and then in the pros, you did it. What do you think about the creativity, so you know, to this point, because all these dunks have been done, you know what I mean? So you got to come with some crazy shit now to make a way, but these kids are coming with that crazy shit and making a way. What are your thoughts on it being a former slam dunk champ?
So I won't lie, right? Since '93, right? People have been going between the legs, whether it's Kobe, Vince, Bron, you know, well, Bron never been it, but other dudes, you know, was going between the legs. And I was like, man, this is crazy. Jay Rich and, you know, there's others. I was like, are you kidding me right now? I mean, these dudes was doing some crazy stuff, man, and still doing crazy stuff. So to me, the evolution of the dunk, like, so I didn't practice dunks. You know what I mean? I didn't, you know, the first dunk contest, the second dunk, I didn't go out there, I didn't have no routine, I didn't know what I was gonna do, I didn't practice no dunks, you know what I mean? And even coming up in high school, you know, everybody had the bouncy ones and we dunked out, you know what I mean? Harold Miner used to go at it in high school. And so we dunked out and stuff like that.
Shout out Harold Miner, man, we ain't heard that name in a minute.
Yeah, we used to go at it in high school. I mean, it was Southern Cal, North Cal, we had it rolling. With that being said, we didn't practice. We just went off the cuff. So now dudes is taking behind the back, taking, you know, practicing, looking at pro dunkers, taking time, getting the timing, getting advice from dudes, you know what I mean? And going in the lab and getting major dunks off, you know what I mean? So I just look at it like the evolution is incredible, man. I mean, just to go from a simple baseline between the legs to, at the end of my dunk contest, so I used to throw it up too, at the end of my dunk contest, I'm talking to Sean Kemp, like, man, they wanted me to do one more dunk. I'm like, man, I'm gonna throw it up, go all vert, and throw it between the legs, and him and Antonio Davis, like, man, you good, da-da-da. So I was like, all right, so I went and did something else. With that being said, I look at it now like, man, they going behind the back, off the backboard. It's incredible, man. I'm in awe, you know what I mean, when I see these dudes. You know what I mean? With that being said, man, I think Aaron Gordon won the dunk contest.
Man, he been getting robbed 2 times, possibly.
Man, baby boy too, man. They ain't need to stop doing that to that kid.
Hey, how you feel about that dunk being named to J.R. Roddy? Like, every time I see somebody do it, I hear somebody talk about it between the legs. They're like, I'm finna try this J.R. Roddy. Like, that actual dunk is basically named after you now.
Man, Stak, I'm glad you said that, bro, because I was starting to think otherwise, because the NBA don't give me no props. And the bottom line,
Man, you know the real ones know, man. The real ones know, dog.
My goodness, man. Hey, look, the bottom line, they doing it way better than the original now, but they still going with the legs to win the dunk contest in 2020, bro. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? That dunk has lasted a long
30
time,
years,
man. You know what I mean? And that's me behind it. So with that being said, look, I'm glad you see that. Because when I'm around people, I don't hear it that much. I just hear them say. So I'm around a lot of kids, and we getting older. So they might just say the East Bay Funk Dunk, and not even know I'm right there.
It's you.
You know what I mean?
The story behind it, right? I want to shout you out and everyone involved that was in the process of changing the All-Star game. That shit was amazing,
awesome.
bro. Shit was amazing. The competition level, the excitement, the quality of play. Like, I really want to tip my hat to you, bro, especially because you brought life back. Because that game was on life support, real talk. And you and whoever helped you come up with the idea, definitely a shout out to you. But tell me how that came about, because I know you were very integral in that happening.
That's crazy, because I'll be forgetting about that sometimes. It's funny, man, because even the whole thing of doing the draft, how you draft now, right, as far as the All-Star game, me, Michelle Roberts, and Adam and their team, we actually came up with that idea too. And the reasoning behind that was, like, I've been blessed to play in all these All-Star games, but I felt like I was playing with the same guys year in and year out.
Right.
Yeah, so and I'm always looking at it from a fan perspective. So the funniest thing is that I actually sort of came up with that idea, but I had never made an All-Star game to play in it.
Oh, since.
Right. Since coming up with that idea, I hadn't made an All-Star game to play in it. And so last year, the TBT tournament that comes on right during the summer, the championship game was in Chicago. I'm a big fan. I had a team in the TBT. I was at the game, and it was crazy. Ohio State won the championship. So after the game, I called Adam. Well, I think before the game, I called Adam, and I was like, Adam, you should watch this game. Watch the TBT. I think we should try to introduce it into the All-Star game. Adam watched it. We talked about it, for a while. And then, when we unfortunately lost our brother Kobe or whatnot, me and Adam talked again about how to sort of switch it up a little bit to honor Kobe at the same time. And then what was even better was that I finally made the All-Star game, right?
Right, the stars
Which
aligned.
I didn't know that was going to happen. And you know me, man, I'm crazy competitive, so.
Yeah, times 10.
Man, listen. And that's one of the biggest things I miss about Kobe, and not getting that opportunity to play with him when the trade stuff happened, is that
I was there. Kobe, they blocked that shit. I couldn't believe it. Remember, I was talking to you. You were talking to me and Kobe. I'm like, bro, what, you gonna fucking love LA? There's nothing like being a Laker. Next day I know they blocked. David Stern blocks the trade.
They said it's over for that.
That was crazy.
But the crazy part about the All-Star games is that me and Kobe used to always say, we won't lose. Like,
right. He
because
told
I
us
ain't
that.
with that. Yeah, we used to
He
beat
told
the
us
hell
that.
out of people. And the thing was, fans would be like, oh, the game wasn't good. And we'd be like, well, we just going to beat y'all ass. And we ain't got nothing to do with that.
No, Kobe told us. He said he would look over at you and be like, CP, let's go.
Every time. Man, listen, All-Star Game 2009 in Phoenix. Y'all should look back and see what the score was. We beat them so bad. We won the All-Star Game so bad. And I'll never forget it because Phil Jackson was the coach, right? And I remember coming in the locker room for the All-Star Game. Usually the All-Star Game, the locker room is chill. Like Shaq was on the team. Shaq be wilding in the locker room. Man, Phil Jackson come in there and he was like, Paul, what does Iverson like to do? I was like, yeah, what's going on? This is an All-Star Game. Phil Jackson, he coached that game. We went out there and we sort of played almost like it was man-to-man, but if somebody had the ball on the right wing, he was shit. Like Pau Gasol had to come over to the elbow. So it looked like a zone, right? Somebody researched, figure out what the score was, because Braun and D-Wade them was so mad during the game. They was like, y'all niggas gonna play a zone? We wore them out.
That's what's up. Nah, man, shout out to Kobe. But no, tell us, just tell us about how it finally came about, like I said, and just how you guys felt as players out there. Because like I said, you got that fourth quarter was unbelievable. Tell me what that was like.
So, first and foremost, Giannis, you know, he got that mentality too. And, you know, All-Star games, this is what's tricky too. In an All-Star game, when somebody drive down the lane to dunk, everybody usually do what?
Get out the way.
Move out the way, right? Because don't nobody want to get hurt. Don't nobody want to do nothing. So Giannis was smart. He just kept driving. Everybody move out the way. So I told us in the huddle, I said, oh, hell no. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to work because he know he can just score every time if everybody going to move. And so, I mean, all game long, you know what I mean? Like J Kidd, them was over there and all that because them was our assistant coaches. And I was like, yeah, we got to go. Because the way it was set up too, if somebody gets a lead too big, then you in trouble in the fourth quarter. Man, and the dopest part too, and I shout out to Coach Vogel for letting me play, is that usually to end the game, the starters usually end the game.
Kept you in there. You had such a big effect. To me, you were definitely in the All-Star, the MVP conversation. You had a hell of a game.
Man, but you know what I told Coach Vogel before the game?
And he dunked. The motherfucker got to dunk.
Yeah,
easy.
Come on. Keep that low, Stak. Keep that low. Hey, look, though. This is what I told Coach Vogel before the game, but people probably don't even realize. I told him in the locker room, I said, listen, Coach, I ain't one of them dudes that be like, I don't want to play and save me for the second half of the season. I want to hoop. Mm-hmm. I told him that. I said, don't treating me like the old guy over here that just want to rest. I want to hoop.
Even though you old as fuck, but go ahead.
Hey, you only as old as the...
That's mental. That's all mental.
Hey, listen. I told him that, and so appreciate him for respecting that because
that's dope.
Not losing. That's out.
Now you guys brought it back, and we appreciate it. We were there.
What's your most memorable moment of your second year?
Most memorable moment has to be All-Star weekend. Being in the All-Star game, starting.
I saw it on your face, bro. We was down there. I saw it all on your face.
Yeah, I was excited. I had the jitters, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't get nervous. Like I always get anxious for games. Like I'm just ready to play. Like I'm just ready for it to go. But I ain't gonna lie. All-Star night was the first night in a long time that I was like, all right, man. Like I'm kind of nervous, man. Like this is. I'm starting to like. I think it's a difference in being just an all-star and a starter too. It's like it's a different feeling. So for me, I was just ready to go out there and put on a show and have fun. And for me to be my second year, it's a blessing. The people that I've been around for sure.
No, congrats, man. Like you said, to get voted in to be a starter is a whole nother level, especially in your second year with however many. You know, there's so many talented guards now. I mean, there's so many talented guards. So for you to be on the scene as your second year as a starter, man, that's definitely hats off to all the hard work you put in, man, and what you've been able to accomplish.
Well, I appreciate that.
If you can go back, maybe before you're born, maybe just before you got to the league, and sit courtside to watch any two superstars go at it, what would that matchup be?
To watch any two superstars?
Good question.
I would watch that All-Star game when Jordan and Kobe played against each other.
Ooh, was that Kobe's first or second All-Star game?
That was his.
Kobe showed out. Yeah.
That was his first one. They went at it.
First.
That would have been dope.
Nice.
We gotta do the show.
Get out here. Get out.
You guys killed it.
Sotto voce.
You're stupid.
Stop. Somebody's bougie. Back.
Y'all look crazy.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Y'all blew up.